Right.
Yeah.
So we're going to move to our thematic section, and the first thematic section is really the relationship between meditation and science. So I'm going to dwell on that for a few minutes. And my first question to you in this thematic session, Dr. Fleischman, is on Homo sapiens. So we are at the peak of the evolutionary ladder. Does that mean that as a species, we have reached the peak of evolution? Is there more to come? What's your view? What's just your opinion, your take on this?
Okay. Okay. Well, there are three different views that I juggle in my mind. So the most important answer is I don't know the answer to your question, but thoughts rise in my mind about it because it's obviously a very important question. So one thought is you say we're at the peak of evolution, but many evolutionists would not agree. So they might say there's nothing better about me or you than a bacteria. We're living things. We evolved on Earth. There's a lot of bacteria, and they're still evolving. It's not like they evolved and they stopped evolving, and then we evolved. They're still evolving. One of the evidences, sad evidences for that is if an antibiotic is overused, the bacteria evolve and and the antibiotic becomes useful. So they're still evolving. We're still evolving. We're not at any pinnacle. Seen from a cosmic standpoint, we're no more pinnacle. In fact, we're rarer, less common, and less long-lived than the bacteria. So one answer is we're not the pinnacle. So let's drop that attitude. Another, you asked me to say what I feel and what I think. Well, it's
Yes.
very hard for a human being not to feel superior to a bacteria. So I do. I do feel superior, even though I just told you it's not necessarily a rational belief. So, well, yes, we're the pinnacle. And what will happen next? There's two viewpoints that I juggle in my mind about that. And both are classic scientific viewpoints, not at all unique to me. One viewpoint is our evolution will require a long, sustained planet Earth to support our transformation into an increasingly socially compatible, well-intended, non-violent, non-self-protective group. And that evolution will require brain changes in fundamental things like our limbic system, our amygdala, places where we experience fear and the origins of aggression. And it's going to take a long time. Evolution of brains is slow and may take thousands or hundreds of thousands of years. Not overly optimistic viewpoint. But there's a third viewpoint. This would be the viewpoint associated with Stephen Jay Gould, who pointed out that human beings may never biologically evolve in the future because we're so flexible and adaptive through cultural transformations by changing our homes, changing our internets, changing our artificial intelligence, changing everything about our situation, that evolution will not require biological change. It will only regard cultural change. And that could be fairly rapid. We're now sitting on the cusp of multiple transformative cultural changes in our environment, which everybody's very aware of. Things like nuclear weapons on the downside, artificial intelligence maybe on the upside and or the downside. And our evolution can be rapid and effective through these cultural transformations. Should we be optimistic about that? Maybe.
And could meditation be a segue for this cultural and social evolution that you refer to?
Well, that's my personal hope. I would consider that to be a strategic investment I've made in that belief. So I've placed my life behind that belief system. Is it true? Of course, I don't know the future, so I don't know if it's true. But yes, that could be so. Why? Because it could impact both areas that I talked about, number two and number three. Number two, meaning it could change our biology, because meditation definitely uses brain parts And if all people or many people or large numbers of people begin to meditate and produce offspring that are geared to meditate and don't produce offspring that are not geared to meditate, there could be biological evolution driven by meditation. Or we could use the Stephen Jay Gould attitude, the thing I call the third part of my mental juggling, which is, well, meditation definitely changes our culture, no question about that, no if or but about that. So that's a very probable cause of cultural evolution is a wider spread use of meditation to change ourselves and change our culture without actually going as deep as changing our biological evolution. That's what I personally am invested in. I put my life behind that. I think it's reasonable. I don't have proof that it's true.
That's deeply insightful. Thank you so much, for that response.